you know what they say, the third time is a charm. So let me know, you guys, right now, if you are seeing this episode live on LinkedIn, Twitter, or Facebook, or wherever you're watching it. Hopefully, no more tech issues, but you know what? The show must go on. And tonight, I am talking all about adding your side hustle to your LinkedIn profile the right way. A lot of people have been DMing me, asking me questions about it. How do they do it? Well, listen, your girl right here is going to show you exactly how you can do it. As well, I have a few other tricks up my sleeve that I cannot wait to share. And of course, we will be talking about my favorite scroll stopper. I love that part of the show because I scour, well, that sounds a little aggressive, but I look for things all over different platforms that literally stop my scroll. I incorporate them into my training all the time. So I'm always constantly finding new things that are working right now. And so this week's scroll stopper is pretty cool because the person who posted it today actually posted something else last week that caught my attention. And isn't that what content's supposed to do? Capture your attention? So in this episode, I'm going to break down why last week's as well as this week's post really caught my attention, and then how you can incorporate what you see from this industry into yours so that you can stop that scroll. As well, in Tap That App, 2-piece, I have the best solution ever if you wish that you could use Instagram on the desktop the same way you use it on your phone. Have you ever wished that? You wished you could post a picture and not have to go to your phone, upload from the desktop in a really easy way. Also send DMs and even upload stories from the desktop. Yes, it's totally doable. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So make sure you stay tuned. And of course, if you have questions or anything else that you want to talk about, I will save time and room just for you. All right, so let's jump right into this. But the one thing that I want to ask you first is, do you have a side hustle? And is it on your LinkedIn profile, or have you seriously been considering putting it on? Yes or no in the comments. I'm really curious to see who's watching and who's been thinking about this, because I can't tell you, I haven't had a week go by without somebody DMing me and just asking me, is it okay that I put my side hustle on, or how do I do it in the right way, or should I be doing it at all? There's a lot of anxiety around it, but yet, according to one study, a quarter of all Americans, it was a very small study, so the number, of course, like any study, is very inflated, but they basically said 25% of all Americans have some sort of side hustle. And with all the different side hustles out there, it's not hard to believe. So I'm curious. I want to know with you guys, what are you thinking? Is there a side hustle happening for you? Is there something that you're doing where you're now thinking about, let's make this legit, official, put it on the LinkedIn profile? So let me know. Okay, I'm just going to do a quick check just to see if I'm actually broadcasting. Again, like I said, the show must go on. So for those of you who are watching on Twitter, if you are watching anywhere else, let me know. Doesn't look like I'm on LinkedIn, but if I am, guys, I love you for watching. So let's see. All right. Well, I hope it looks like at least one person's watching. So we'll see. It shows that I'm live right now. And anyway, so yes, there's a bunch of people. Actually, hello, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Looks like a lot of you do have side hustles and have added it on, which is exciting. So Ernest is not yet. Totally get you, Ernest. I get you. It's easier said than done for a lot of people. Carlton says, I'm definitely going to post it to my profile tomorrow. All right. And I'm going to give you exactly what you need, Carlton. I promise. Promise not to disappoint. Promise to give you the goods. Okay. So let's go into the first part of the show. Scroll stoppers. You know I love a good scroll stopper. So in this scroll stopper is an exciting one, and I really liked it. I'm going to break it down for you guys right now because I thought it was just a tremendous opportunity to really take an not so hard to do post and create what you need to create with it. So let me, without further ado, because I feel like I'm speaking around it instead of just showing it to you, let's take a look, okay? All right, so this scroll stopper is brought to you by John Hyman, and he is an employment lawyer. And if you check him out, he also blogs. He is known for his blogs. He's been in the media, and he's a partner at a law firm. So what's interesting is a lot of law firms, there are a lot of issues, or there are a lot of more conservative law firms out there. And so what I want to show you is a great awesome example of how to get the attention of your clients with stats. Okay, so the first one, this is, and I mentioned to you guys last week that he got my attention with a post. And the reason why this post got my attention, I'll read it for you. It says, trigger warning. Today's post is not for everyone. If you are offended by what I'm about to say, then this post is specifically for you. Permitting companies to discriminate in the name of religion is not religious freedom. It's plain wrong. Yesterday, the DOL announced a regulation that would permit certain businesses to do just that. And then he links to the details. So this is very pertinent to his clients. So they're looking for this, and they're looking for this information. They're looking for him to stay up to date with this. So let's jump right back into the post once again. And protecting private companies from discrimination, liability based on the owner's religious beliefs is dangerous and scary and abhorrent. So religious freedoms as an opt-out from anti-discrimination laws is a dangerous construct. And then he goes on to talk about a little further, and he said, let me make it as clear as possible. Racism is wrong. Sexism is wrong. Homophobia is wrong. If you disagree, you're a bigot. So this post, first of all, was huge because it is calling people out. I loved it. So he immediately caught my attention with it, which was super exciting. But I wanted to show you, and this post, while it's controversial and true, and it gets people's feathers all rustled, but he did a great job of leading to his source and also showcasing his opinion. This may not be for everyone because some people are in super conservative firms, so they can't necessarily post like this, but John is known for his opinion. He writes for a blog. He is out there in the media, so he has the permission space to do it. But for those of you, especially in more conservative industries, and I work with a lot of them, I work with a lot of professionals in service-based industries who have to put out there, but their firms are very tight with social. They say, go be social, but don't. So here's the next example that I want to show you is a great post that John posted this week. So he caught my attention last week with that one. And then this week, let's go back to the screen for you guys. So this week's post was all about another major issue, so another hot topic, talking about age discrimination for employers. And I like his language. So insurance company Hiscox just released, and then it's 2019 Ageism in the Workplace study, revealing some sobering stats about the growing problem of age discrimination for employers. So what's really cool is he goes down and he gives you some sobering stats, and as he goes through those stats, he starts to inform his audience. Okay, so what's really interesting is, and I'll get back into the slide just a second so you can take a look, is these are things that you can do as well. You can pull out stats, and especially things that matter to your audience most. So let me go quickly into my points because I do have a few. All right, so let's jump in right now. And these are, both of them are hot topics for his clients, and this is really important. So the age discrimination, as well as the other legislation that happened last week, that was really important. And his attention grabbing first sentence. So for me, especially the other one, trigger warning, I found that that just grabbed my attention. That literally made me stop my thumb. As well, the just release. So this is brand new information. And then using the word sobering stats. This is really important because, again, it's capturing my attention. These are things that I feel like I need to know. And the next thing that was really important is he does have a very strong, bold opinion. The asterisk is there because I know, like I said earlier, I know that for some people, that bold opinion is scary. But especially with the second one, it's not as bold, it's just the numbers. Let the numbers do the talking. And these are statistics. Finding the right statistics that your clients need to know is very important. So let's go back to the slide and take a look. So 36% feel their age has prevented them from getting a job since turning 40. But the interesting thing for me, what really stands out is still, and this is where John's expertise comes in, employers paid $810 million to settle age discrimination charges filed with the EEOC between 2010 and 2018, and that's excluding litigation. So it's only going to get worse. By 2024, workers aged 55 and older will represent 25% of the nation's workforce, with the fastest growth among ages of 65. What is your business doing to fight ageism? Share below. Plus, he gives a resource. So this is really cool because he's highlighting in both posts, quite frankly, he highlights the impact from a dollar perspective. And with the other one, he just highlighted the impact as far as just what that meant for you as an individual in your thoughts. And finally, I loved his formatting for both of them. They looked really good. And there is a call to action. So the only thing that I would probably change about this and both posts is making sure that you don't include the link inside the main post. The reason why is right now, links in the algorithm devalue a post. And that's unfortunate because he's linking to good information. So right now the trend is to say link in the comments or DM me for the link. That's a lot of work. But at the same time, you will get a lot further reach if you do that. So those are things that you definitely want to think about as you are out there and using this format for something really cool. So one of the things that I want to remind you of, and I hope those points were helpful. I'd love to hear that. And let me know in the comments whether they were helpful or not. The one thing I want to ask you is, if you see something that is scroll stopping, I want you to say something. And that just means simply typing the hashtag scroll stopper and tagging me in the post, because the more we see, the better I will have a lot more scroll stoppers to share with you guys. And that's super exciting for me because clearly I get excited about this stuff. So if you see something, definitely say something. All right. So coming up next, we are moving to the main topic of the night, and that is your LinkedIn side hustle. So I wanted to share something with you guys, and this is really interesting. So these are some of the popular side hustles that are out there right now, because people usually get nervous around side hustles because they think that they're competing. So let me move this clock out of the way for you guys just a second. So you've got blogging and online businesses, freelance and service-based businesses, so that's probably around consulting, Amazon, affiliate businesses and e-commerce, investing, self-publishing, software apps, and of course the gig economy. So a lot of people are doing a lot of different things. And what's interesting is that these things that people are doing to earn money definitely have a spot in your LinkedIn profile if done well. How many people believe that? So I'm interested. Oh wow, 49. I'm suing here, and I might lay these out. Oh, I like that idea for the previous one. Is like laying them out in a clickable document. So different stat. So I'm sorry, I'm jumping into the comments because I'm just looking to see what's out there right now. But I will get back to that one in the end because I really loved that. Okay, so let's take a look here. All right, back into the LinkedIn Side Hustle. And here are some of the points that I wanted to share with you. The number one thing that you need to make sure you do when you are thinking about adding your LinkedIn Side Hustle to your profile is this: respect the paycheck. Okay, so you might be wondering, what do I mean by that? That means do not bite the hand that feeds you. Do you agree? Let me know. Comments right now. Do you agree that you need to respect the paycheck? And let me tell you what I mean by respecting the paycheck. That means making sure that you've checked for any policies. Are there any policies that prohibit you from having a side hustle? That's important because some people, they can't get another job. A side hustle may be considered another job. Who knows? The other thing that you have to respect when you're thinking about that paycheck is, are you serving the same audience? So I've met with people before where it's like, you can't do that because those are the same clients. You cannot do it for cheaper because they're working with you directly. That's a direct conflict of interest. So you want to make sure that you understand what you're bringing to the table. Before you put this out there, you need to make sure it's okay. And then there are a lot of people out there where it's kind of a gray area. So it's better to ask forgiveness than, or beg forgiveness than ask for permission. Yeah, I get it. And that's a risk sometimes that you're going to have to take. So that's something that you're going to have to weigh. But there is a way that you can actually incorporate it in a way that doesn't feel intimidating to the employer as well. Because there are a lot of people out there, quite frankly, and this is what we have to remember as well. There are a lot of people who are not making the leap. They're not making the leap over to full-time entrepreneurship, like all of the entrepreneur porn will lead you to believe that everybody is like, you've never worked a day, when you're full-time entrepreneur, you never worked a day in your life. Yeah, okay. Right. But there are people who are contented. They have passion projects that have been able to monetize in an awesome way, but they're still cool with their day job. That is okay too. So the number one tip that I have for you is definitely respect the paycheck. And yes, I agree, Brandon. It does depend on the company and the position as far as what's okay and what's not okay. I believe most likely the higher you go within the organization and more eyes are on you, there might be more scrutiny around that. So again, respecting where you're at and where you want to be, that is truly important. And let's see. Just taking a little look here at the comments, just see what people are saying. So feel free to weigh in right now. As well, when it comes to respecting the paycheck, that also means that in the next section that I'm about to talk to you about, the About section, you want to make sure that you make mention of your side hustle in the About section at the appropriate point. So here's what I mean by that. So talk about it would be the first step of bringing it into your LinkedIn profile. And your LinkedIn About section, which is formerly known as the summary section or the bio section, that is a great way to enter into this new world where you're actually letting people know what it is you do. So what you want to make sure you do is make sure your company, if it's very important to them that you have that high visibility within your organization, that when I look you up, I first see your 9 to 5. This is my opinion. It's not everybody's opinion because some people feel that they're not even using their LinkedIn profile for work, which I believe is a missed opportunity at work, but so they can just mention their side hustle as a main hustle. And that's totally fine if that's what you want to do. But if you are balancing that world between employment and having a side hustle, I believe it's important to, again, respect the paycheck and talk about your main focus, your main job first, and how you serve and how you help. So when people are looking you up, they know what you can do for them. Then it's all about that transition statement, right? So when I'm not working with my clients at the law firm, I am, and then you could talk about that second thing that you're doing. You can find me in my kitchen on weekends and evenings baking cupcakes because I have a small catering company or whatever. It just depends on what you want to do. But what it is, it's all about that transition. It's also looking at the transferable skills that you get to showcase while you have those two positions. So it's about bringing that in and telling the story in the about section, using again that transition statement that brings you from your main paycheck down to your side hustle, respecting the order, respecting the paycheck, and then transferring the skills along with it. So I've worked with people where they're in project management, and then they have a company where they advise women on how to be more financially responsible and how to make their vision board a reality through the right investments. So they bridge it with talking about project management and being your money, being a project that you get to manage too and earn what you need to. So it's all about those bridging transition statements. So you definitely want to talk about it in the about section. Next thing, I suggest you make it official by adding it as a position on your LinkedIn profile. This is really important because this allows you to have its own property where you get to explain again and highlight the things you do. Because what people are noticing now is that you can showcase the skills that you don't get to use in your regular position. And this is incredible because sometimes what it will give you is conversation opportunities. People within your organization, people, your clients, people you work with, people you partner with will get to know and understand you better. And you'll have that official term. You can use, if you don't have a business name, if you have a blog that's part of your side hustle, you're starting a blog or a video series, you can add that to your LinkedIn profile. Because again, you're showing skills. So I would say make it official as a position. And create, as Bryn Tillman says, create a company page as well. Exactly. And that's how you do it. So once you're adding that position, you can then connect it to your company page and then build it out from there. So this is something that's really cool, and you can link it to your website and do so much with it. And again, it gives people that opportunity to understand what you're doing. Okay, so the next thing, because I'm at 9 minutes, is content crossovers. This is my favorite strategy. This is where you create content that crosses over and tells the story of what you do in both worlds. So you could do, for example, a story on time management. And this really is like some PR. This is my PR brain going. So basically, you can talk about, you can do a whole article or a video about how you manage your time juggling your day job and your side hustle and what it takes, because what it shows is the ethics behind what you're doing. It also shows those crossover transferable skills that I was talking about before. And this way you can show that ethically what you're doing, and you can talk about it. And it also gives people, you're leaving people with tips on how they can do it too. So I think this is a really interesting way. So brainstorm some content crossovers where you can talk about both sides of what you do. And that will be really fun for you. Okay, so you guys liking this? Are these tips helpful? Use the light bulb. I like the light bulb right now. Let me know. Give me some light bulb love. That's what I want. Some light bulb love. Okay. And then finally, for some people, it makes more sense to have a second network where they truly highlight the work that they're doing. So many people are turning to Instagram, whereas they could have their main hustle, their main thing that they're doing as their day job on their LinkedIn profile with a mention, as long as it's okay, respecting the paycheck, but then focusing another presence over on, let's say, Instagram. Oh, love those light bulbs. Thank you guys. Okay. So the reason why is this allows you, so if someone finds you on Instagram with your side hustle being your main hustle over there, and they come back and they connect with you on LinkedIn, there's no disconnect. And that's why it's so important to blend the two. You blend them with content crossovers. You make it official with a position on your LinkedIn profile and a company page. You talk about it in your summary section or the about section of your LinkedIn profile. And again, you give the proper hierarchy and respect to it. So these are things that you can think about using, and hopefully you found them as great tips. Thank you so much, Jane. I really appreciate that. Doug, I know I see you're loving the content crossover, context collaboration. I like that. Okay, so let me know what you guys think. And again, if you are, you know what I want to know right now? I didn't ask this. Are you guys team live or team replay? I want to know. Can you type that in the comments right now? Team live or team replay? I'm curious. But in the meantime, and I'll check that later, let me move on to Tap That App. And Tap That App this week, like I said, I promised, I talked about Instagram in the side hustle thing, but Tap That App is really interesting for me this week, because I'm one of those people who, I love Instagram. I love using Instagram. And if we are not following each other, can you come over and follow me and I'll follow you back? Because this is where I show a lot of behind the scenes stuff. I'm actually going to talk about in my stories about how my broadcast blew up 2 times and I had to start for the 3rd time. But that's where I complain and have fun and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, lots of team livers right now. Thank you so much. And so this week's app is amazing to me. Well, it's not an app. I find all these like web-based things. I think I'm too much on my desktop. But anyways, it's all about using Instagram on your desktop. Are you interested in using Instagram on your desktop? Because if you are, you're going to love this. So let me move over into that right now. Hold on just a second. All right. So this is for Chrome users. If you are on Chrome, you're going to love it, because it's all about this app, or extension, if you will allow you to actually download videos and pictures that you see on Instagram. And let me give you a live look at what it looks like. Okay, so it's called Desktop for Instagram. You can take a look here. You can watch stories up here and see what's going on story-wise. It's a little slow, but there we go. So pedal pop up. And you can go through and really navigate it like you are on Instagram. And as you can see here, can go through, take a look at people's posts. I can go and I can comment, I can like. Also, the interesting thing here is I can turn it so that it looks like I'm on a tablet all of a sudden. See the pictures a little bit bigger. And you see here are the buttons right here where I can download it or I can get the link to share it. So are you guys loving this? This is awesome. So there are more than one. I've tested a few. So I have Desktop for Instagram, and this one is made by Devin Co. And it also allows you to do the same things. It gives you a better look, and you can also get in there and like and comment. Same thing with Desktop for Instagram. So it just brings the Instagram experience from your phone all the way to your desktop, and I'm loving it. So if that's something that you're liking, I want to know, would you use this? Again, so it is Desktop for Instagram. That's what you're searching in the Chrome store. So take a look up for it. And as well, let's see, what I want to do is jump into the questions. Do you guys have any questions about what we talked about today? I know I covered a lot. Let's see. It's in the Chrome store, and I'm just going to take a look at everything that's here. So give me 1 second just to see if I have any questions for you. How do you find on Instagram? So you don't find this on Instagram. You have to, Ernest, you have to go into the Chrome store and check it out from there. And Shelby, thank you for saying that I'm dropping gems tonight. I appreciate that. And as well, I want to make sure that if you guys have any questions, what's coming up in the future, by the way. So let me give you like a little share time. I'm going to be doing a live just Q&A because I feel like in my 2 minutes and 35 seconds, I truly can't answer questions, but I would love to be answering your questions. So you guys heard it here first. One thing that I would love for you to do is if you have a question, instead of just asking back and forth, I need to make this stuff dynamic. Send me a video of your question. And I will feature you live on my show. So we'll go back and forth between asking and answering questions in the comments and also showcasing your video. So how long can a voicemail be? That's a question from Randall. It can be 1 minute. And speaking of voicemails, let me show you this. So I wanted to shout out before I go in 1 minute and 52 seconds, I'm going to honor that time. I wanted to shout out my friend, and she is absolutely amazing, and we are truly the LinkedIn voicemail queens. So let's take a look before I jump out. Judy Fox. So just to show you guys, I'm not even kidding. We send voice messages back and forth all the time. Anyways, she is speaking at Video Marketing World on August the 23rd and 24th. So coming up in like a few days. And she's going to be mentoring the show. Of course, it had to be the show with all of the tech issues, but this is live. This is how things work. But hey, you keep it moving. The show must go on. And I have 1 minute to wrap up this show. But I definitely want you guys, if you have ever met Judy, she is phenomenal. She's fantastic. And she's going to be talking all about leveraging live video, leveraging video on LinkedIn at Video Marketing World. So shout out to everybody if you're watching this on the replay later on from Video Marketing World. Judy rocks. And definitely if you are watching this show and you are not connected with Judy Fox, go find her. She is awesome. I love her to bits. Okay, so that's my shout outs for this week. Guys, I just wanted to say thank you so much for sticking with me and all of my tech boo-boos, if you will. And if you have questions or an idea for an awesome episode, all you need to do is just ask Cher. Thank you guys so much for watching. And of course, can't wait for the next episode. Thank you guys. Just Ask Cher live.